Coming up, if you have to pretend to orgasm with your mate because you're less satisfied in your relationship, well, we know who to listen to about that. Brazilian women. That's the focus of this Depraved and Debaucherous episode. I'm King of Podcasts. Thanks for listening in or finding the show, watching it. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being here. There's new research published in Evolutionary Psychology exploring women's reasons for pretending to orgasm, engagement, and mate retention behaviors, and relationship satisfaction. So the research shows that pretending to orgasm may be a mate retention behavior. So if you want to hold on to somebody, hey, you're going to fake it. If you're not getting sexual pleasure out of it, but I've learned more and more about all the books I've been reading that women really don't get that much sexual pleasure. And they are faking it more than anything else with a guy just to make the guy feel good about himself, or the other way around, or it's something where the guy might be orgasming. Well, not so much the guy, but like if it's, your partner that might be orgasming. And do you believe it's true or it's authentic and genuine, or maybe it's not? So study author Mariana Bierman and other colleagues were interested in investigating the relationship between reasons for pretending to orgasm and mate retention behaviors among Brazilian women. They recruited 295 women between the ages of 18 to 52 who lived in Brazil. Now, I'm going to tell you this first. If you don't know about Brazilian women, they are the epitome of Latin women, of Latina women. They're passionate, romantic, and spicy. Let's just say it like that. In many cases, women can be, especially when it comes to romance, if they are romantically involved with you and they are, interested or attracted to you, then it's really intensified, like very much more intensified than you would imagine. So just keep that in mind. Now, in the story here, I will say that I did get to date. I want to say I dated two girls that were Brazilian. I remember when I was in my 20s, and it was after college. I remember that. It was like, I want to say it was my early 30s. That's what it was. Actually, no, it was my early 30s. I met a girl in Fort Lauderdale as I was going out to get lunch from work. And I was working in central Fort Lauderdale, or uptown Fort. No, it was uptown Fort Lauderdale. And I was heading out towards the beach to go to a sandwich shop. And I remember running into a girl that I saw walking on the sidewalk that was heading towards the beach. And I talked to her for a little bit and realized she spoke Portuguese, but somehow, some way I was able to talk to her on the phone. And then I texted her. I remember having to use Google Translate to explain to her what I thought about her and about getting together. And we did a couple of times. And I'll tell you, when I did get the chance to go and hook up with her, and we were, we got together, and I will just say that she was very much excited, and I think she was being real about things. She was very much excited and passionate and romantic, and enjoyed sex. Just saying like that. Now, in the story, they say here that all participants were currently in a committed romantic relationship for at least 3 months when they took the survey. And the results said that Brazilian women's frequency of mate retention behaviors were not correlated with pretending to orgasm because of being disinterested. That, like American women, Brazilian women pretend to orgasm to increase the sexual and emotional experience for her and her partner. So yeah, fake it to make it much more. So like, you hope that the guy that you're with, or maybe it's the girl that you're with, you want to make that person feel like they're doing the right thing and they're getting them more excited to do what you're doing, and that you're getting the sexual act to be much more intensified, to escalate it so it becomes more pleasurable eventually for you, for the Brazilian woman or the American woman, whatever it might be, or any woman in general. Although women reported to pretend to orgasm to improve the experience, pretend to orgasm is likely a deceptive behavior that could be intended to hide relationship dissatisfaction from her partner. So that's the other part. While trying to make that sexual act intensify, escalate it, and make it pleasurable at the end, it could still say the thing, well, that's being done because they're just not happy. They're doing it just because they have to just play the role, because they're trying not to hurt the other person's feelings. That's what it is. Results show that scores on the deception and manipulation measures did not correlate with frequency. And that's a different kind of manipulation, because that's compassionate manipulation, I want to call it. It's not trying to manipulate to hurt somebody. It's trying to make them feel better about themselves, which is a nice thing to do. I mean, manipulation can be positive. I really believe that. They posit that pretending to orgasm may be separate from other reasons for engaging in mate retention behaviors. And the study found that also women who pretend to orgasm more frequently are typically less satisfied with relationship, suggesting that women may intend to hide their relationship dissatisfaction and increase their partner's relationship satisfaction to avoid conflict by pretending to orgasm. Well, guess what? If you're getting to that point, guys, if you're in a relationship with your girl and you know it's faking it, don't just assume and don't just take it as is. If you want to try to keep things good, then you need to spice things up. You need to find something else to do that's not just the same old same old. Remember, variety is the spice of life. So you need to go and change positions, locations, add some extra things to the mix. If it's got to be role play, it's got to be kink, it's got to be whatever it is. You want to be able to get that natural orgasm out of her. And if it's not just from a sexual act, then find something. Most importantly, I'll tell you this too, is that with every girl, I wanted to make sure that I just didn't get right into the act. I think foreplay is very important. And I think it's one of the most important things there is. Because I want a woman to feel in the mood and also feel comfortable to consent, right? Lots of time to have that feeling of like, okay, she's feeling good. She's enjoying it. She's being pleasured and getting the time to be pleasured in order then to go ahead and get to that climax. Because to me, I always think the sexual act is the climax. And if you're just going right to that, then you're just, blowing the wad and that's it. But there's you want to build up to that. You want to build the intensity to it. With that Brazilian woman, I knew that's what I had to do with her, because that's exactly what happened. Is that, we got together, and trust me, I remember the fact that I built up to that point to make it pleasurable for both of us. But I wanted her to be really happy. Like for me, that was that part of that. And, if guys feel like, well, we don't have the size or we don't have the endurance, well, that's because you don't need to be the sexual act be the only thing that you do when you're in the bedroom with your mate. Build up to it. Get some foreplay in. That's something that I learned. And that's what should happen. So that you don't have to pretend to orgasm. And that you can enjoy being depraved and debaucherous.